if you're going to start the form, you want to try to do it energetically. It's going to help you physically, okay? So what should I do first? You're going to help me. What should I do first? Okay, and that's going to do what? It's going to move my way to the midfoot. That's going to generate the tanden field. Okay? So let's look at some of the ways that I'm here. Okay, my arms are close to my body. Close and relax. Close and relax. Okay, no extreme wrist angles. Relaxed. Relax. Okay? You're in that liminal state. You have an energetic value. As you move, and you should not move till you get that, you try to keep it as much as possible. You try to keep it. You let the body get you to the midfoot. You don't aim for the midfoot. You keep releasing. You'll get to the midfoot. Down you go. Boom. Okay. Here is another preparatory releasing point. There's many releasing points, meaning many points in the form where you generate that energetic value and you reconcile the two minds, okay? So the same thing here, as I come here, I'm going to release, release, release. There's no rush on when you start the form. We're doing it by command, but I'm giving you plenty of time, okay? So I release my body, all tension free, and you'll notice something else, okay? I'm going to sense that the shoulders have dropped. I'm going to scan for tension in the legs, in the glutes, and the lower back. Release all that. You'll feel a swelling in your abdomen as it happens. You'll feel the liminal state of your mind as you go. And because I can do this, my arms can be at this angle with zero tension. Do you see the difference? Okay? Just release, relax, put your hands under your weapon. Okay? You'll get into that liminal state. And just like when you were standing, you enter the liminal state of the two minds being reconciled. You try to carry that into this position. In this position, you reseat that liminal state. And you're going to try to carry that to the next opportunity to regain the liminal state. Okay? So you don't snap out of it and try to cut someone. But tactically, I don't do this in a knife fight. I don't stick things out. Knife fighting, you always go for what's closest to you. That means what's furthest away from him. So you don't stick things out, okay? You keep things close to you. That way he has to reach out to touch me, and I can defang his snake, cut his thrust or his slash, his leg. Do you understand? Okay. So now, as I go out and I do this form, you're not in a sword fight. None of this makes any sense, sword fighting. Energetically, it makes perfect sense. So as you go, you keep this same liminal state. There should not be any movement in your body. In fact, tactically, you're hiding the fact that you're drawing. You're not trying to outdraw him. You're trying to see how deep into the move you can get before he senses you are actually attacking. Okay, do you understand that difference? Okay, so I do this with the new deputies. When we draw against each other in certain training drills we do, and one person will draw first, and then you try to beat them, right? You can always beat them by a great, great deal if you don't freak out and try to go your fastest on the draw, but you just move very casually. They can't sense it happening until you're way too deep into the draw. so you always win it by a mile, okay? You can even beat them if they telegraph their draw. Even though they're drawing first, you can beat them because you can start when they start. And if you have smoother mechanics, you're going to beat them, okay? So that's what you're doing here martially. No, you see I'm flaring out the elbows, my eyes open, my shoulders came up. Try to enter the liminal state. Everything's very subtle. So look how my hands are moving. You see my hands moving? But look at my shoulders. Not moving. You see that? Now I'm going to move my hands. I'll enter the liminal state. You're going to look at my face. No change in my face. My hands are moving. You understand? Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do as I move. Don't keep the liminal state. The body moves. It's very calm. Out comes the sword. Boom. Don't try for any power right now. Don't try for any speed. Try for this hiding of your intentions. Okay? The hiding of your intentions is revealing that you are in the liminal state. That's the egoic mind functioning. So enter it. You have two opportunities to enter it. Okay, let's try it. Go. Okay, let's just get to here. So this movement happens without anything else moving. Key telegraphing is shoulders. Okay? So, if I flare the right elbow because I have an intention to swing this sword and cut him down, you're going to telegraph. He's going to see it. So you end up going like this. You're now pulling the sword out. When you keep your elbow near your body, you're pushing the sword out. Do you see that? Elbow flared, pulling the sword. Hands moving forward, pushing the sword. Do you see that? This allows you, should shit go wrong, you can thrust that tsuka into the dude. Okay? Meaning, if he reads my intention too early, I can thrust forward. I can't do this like that. I'm very exposed. I'm very mechanically unsound. And I'm also exposed over here on the ribs. Okay? And I'm telegraphing. So, this hand goes this way. Comes out and into the person. Ronin. Okay? So we'll just do a drill so you can appreciate it a little more, what you're doing, okay? I don't want you to kill him. This is not the Maya of the form, but I just want the drill, okay? So I don't move anything. I just come out, boom, boom, and push him over. That's all I'm doing. Okay, let's try it. Go. So again, you have a mental perception. It's delusional. You're not understanding knife fighting nor the energetic component, okay? Again, I don't want to stick things out. So, you know, for example, that your sword ends up from over here and then ends up over here. And what you did is you pictured is like a lightsaber cut. You see that? So you're moving your whole arm from right to left. That's all you can figure out is how that gets there. But the principle of not telegraphing is the more dimensions you travel through, height, width, and depth, the more telegraphing you're doing. So at the beginning, I'm trying to stay in the sagittal plane only, the depth, okay? I don't want to give him any width. If I give him width, he's going to see it. Width and depth, he's going to see it, okay? So as I position the sword in the beginning, okay, I have this balance between I don't want to move my hands a great deal, but I don't want this thing telegraphing depth or width, sorry, okay? So if I put it over here, there I can stay in the same sagittal plane on this point here to his body. But what do I have to do? Give width to get over there. Do you see that? So you have to find this balance. As a general rule, because it depends on the length of your tsuka, so you can see my tsuka is long. And the width of your tsuba is different. The inner edge of your tsuba is somewhere in the area of halfway from your outer rim and your spine, your navel. It's somewhere in that area, okay? To refine the area, I would enter the liminal state, see where my hands end up going as my body positions itself, and then move this thing over or outward as you need to in order to not telegraph or flare your elbow for knife fighting tactics. So this is too far, so I'll move it again. Now my hands can touch it, okay, without moving left or right. My hands can just come up and touch it, okay? So, as I move and I come up, all I'm trying to do is have this sword go as straight out as possible, straight out, boom. So, let's look at some of the things. If you come around to the front, you'll see. Remember, your timing is always related to space. So from here, I can't hit that sternum. But as I go up, you're going to see as I go up, look what happened. It worked, okay? Where did that space come from? My knees will go slightly in. So as I go, you're going to watch, my knees will go in and see how they went in. You can't keep your knees out here and come up like you want to energetically. My knees will go in, which is tactically sound in a knife fight. Shrink, dude. Don't stick things out. So you shrink. Whoa, pop. And now I can get that thing to hit the center line. I don't have things sticking out, okay? As I hit him, don't let the final destination of the sword make you think that you're going to make an arc with this sword. So you don't want to go like this. You see that? You don't want to do that. All I'm doing here is boom, hitting him. That's all I'm doing in this drill, okay? So let's try it again, and then we'll get to, well, how does my sword get over there? Okay? All right, let's try. You're training on your own. Bring that into the nuke skit. So the energetic values are going to be your martial values. So far, by doing things energetically correct, I don't telegraph, right? Okay? I'm not leaving targets out for a knife fight. I'm not flaring things, you see? And if shit goes wrong, boom, I'm going to hit him in the chest. You see, I have a contingency plan on deck, which you always have to martially, because shit doesn't work, okay? When I have the improper energetic values, elbows are flared, so that's targets are sticking out, right? I didn't dominate the center line as early as I could because I'm swinging my arm out to the right. That doesn't make sense martially. And I'm telegraphing to high held, which means it's only going to work if I'm physically faster than that person. That doesn't make martial sense, okay? So, same thing here. If I do the form energetically correctly, I will martially do the form correctly. There were a lot of you that sought your stance and then drew the weapon. That makes no sense because you just stuck your target out there before you got your weapon out there. Do you understand? That doesn't make sense. That's like you send your troops onto the beach and then you bomb the beach. No, bomb the beach first and then send your troops onto the beach, okay? So first I'll demonstrate the mistake as you're going along. You're coming out and you go like this and then you went like that. The sword goes first, the stance follows the sword, okay? That's all we're looking at right now. We still haven't yet dealt with how does my sword go from here to there, okay? So the sword goes first. That is one reason why you'll see that my knees have to come in. The sword goes first, the stance follows the sword, okay? Look at this energetically. The sword is yang energy. It generates space. Then I could do idimi. You don't do idimi where there's no suki, where there's no opening for idimi, okay? So the sword creates the space, boom, and then the sword follows. That makes sense in a knife fight. If you stick your foot out first, right? He takes his step, wham, cut the leg, and that's it, it's done, okay? The sword has to lead. You never stick your foot in, whether it's 3 or 4 feet of steel or 6 inches of steel. You don't do it, okay? All right, so let's get that right. Let's try it. Okay, so again, if I'm doing it correctly energetically, so as I'm not telegraphing, everything's just relaxed and hanging. I'm not telegraphing. Out comes the sword. You're going to see my feet come together. My knees, they come closer together. They're not out in Seiza. They come close together, okay? How close do they come? They come to my hips. Okay, so if you fast forward the film, I want my feet in alignment with my hips. Okay, if my knees are out here from Seiza, and I put my feet where my knees are, that doesn't work. So what tends to happen is you do things all weird, and sometimes you fix it along the way, but it's fixed at the beginning. Okay? So, as my legs come out, right, I'm in Seiza, I got my 2 fists width there, my knees are come up, nothing's moving, out comes the sword, okay? The sword is going to create the yin space for the idimi. So the sword goes, threat has moved back, that's when the foot comes in, okay? That's when. It's not part of my arm trying to attack the guy. Boom! And then it moves into the space I just cleared. Some markers on my hand will go back. Again, I'm trying not to telegraph martially, and I'm trying not to flex energetically. I'm trying not to yang everything. So when I draw the sword on Nukitsuke, my hand never goes higher than the solar plexus. My hand does not go higher than the solar plexus. Okay? And because of the angle that I'm trying to use where I don't telegraph, meaning I don't flare things and I don't travel through multiple dimensions, you're going to see, we'll just look at it biomechanically. If I have the hand at the solar plexus, when I turn this hand over, I don't even raise the hand. Just turning the hand over is going to make the sword ascend. When I do that, I should have my fist just under my shoulder. That way, I'm not activating the outer deltoid, which is martially inferior. Here, it's down in my lat still. My wrist will be flat. My arm's at a 45-degree angle. Okay? That's too far, you're going to activate the outer deltoid. Too high, you're going to activate the outer deltoid. The sword is going to be weak. The kisaki, you want it no further in than, as a guide, the inner edge of your tsuba. You want it also at the height of the bottom edge of your tsuba. So when you draw, the way to get there is don't do anything to the sword. Don't lift it, don't pull it out. Just turn your wrist over and it'll do it all. Okay, so I'm coming out. There's solar plexus. Don't do anything to the sword. You're going to be there just fine. You got it? There, you do something to the sword, things start jacking up on you. Martially, you're using an inferior muscle group. Martially, you're too far away from the center line that you just dominated. Okay? If you're where this edge is, there's an orientation on the weapon back to the center line. It went that far because I had to clear it for the edeme, but it's ready to go again. Okay? All right, so to help me get there and to help me not do anything to the sword, you have to understand martially what's happening. This is a very simple strategy. It's used all over the world, all throughout time. It's a minor-major strategy. A jab cross is a minor-major strategy. The only thing I'm trying to do with the jab is occupy him. Got it? Then, boom, I have the killing blow or the knockout blow. In the Nukitsuke here, the only thing I'm trying to do is occupy him for the Kiriadoshi. Got it? Okay. It's still going to hurt, just like a stiff jab's going to hurt. Okay? It's not a powder puff. It's not a distraction. Right? The best way of distracting him mentally is hurt him. So it's still going to hurt. Okay? So, but you're not trying to cut his head off. Your sword's not a lightsaber. So you're not swinging it left to right. You're going to go over, you're going to go higher, you're going to activate the deltoid, you're going to give up the center line. Right? Or you're going to wind up for it at the beginning and telegraph the hell out of it. Okay? What you're doing instead is, not you guys, but I think it'll still work, but you got, right, I don't know, 3-4 feet of forged iron here, right? It hurts. It's a metal club. Okay? There's lots of fencing options. Boom! They just hit with the flat of the sword, hit with the back of the sword. It hurts. Okay? It's not a lightsaber all the time. So your first thing is to just hit him with your metal club. Not even interested in did I slice his head or anything like that. Okay? So we're going to do it on his arm. We're going to scoot him back. Maybe camera over on this angle. The engine for this is your wrist. My wrist was here. You see? And then at the end, my wrist ended here. So let's rewind and watch my wrist. Okay? Is what my wrist is doing. Just like I'm here, do it over here on the side. My wrist is here. Boom, is what my wrist is doing, okay? But with a weapon on a very vulnerable target, because it's at the distal end of his spine and there's a hinge at his neck, and it has stuff like his eyes and his nose and his mouth there. Do you get it? Okay. So when I come out, the sword would be here. Boom! I'm just going to hit him with that side with the steel. That's my main goal. I'm not trying to go. Okay? So we'll turn it to the mune. Don't move because this is live. And put your hands closer to your body. Okay? You'd be back here. And all you're going to do is flip the wrist. Boom! That's it. Boom! That's what you're doing. Only boom here. Okay? So I'll push a little here so you can feel it, what your body wants to do. There's his kazushi. Do you see? Then that's where I come in. He's in the kazushi. He's in the tilt that you're always trying to generate in your Kihon Waza. He's in the tilt. That's all I need. Okay? So you're going to do that drill. In the drill, you're going to have to game the Nukitsuke, have the Mune out, and have the Kisaki back by the saya. And you work on boom, just flicking, boom, and hitting with that thing. Okay? Let's try it. Go. So once you flick, bah, hit, boom, that's where you get that last little, sorry. Okay, did you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to hit it, boom, on this, right there, and then your arm has to go over here, okay? So you hit it, boom, and you're going to see that thing increase his little impact point. You got it? And then I'm in that final spot. Stay there, where you were, a little lower you were, okay? And then I'm here. Then I'll move up, and then I have the killing blow. So let's look at the mind major concept. In a street fight orientation, okay? So, boom, I'm gonna chop on his throat. You can see what it did to him. Did he die from it? Did it knock him out? No, but it just distracts. And that's where my next shot comes in. That's the same concept you're doing in this technique, okay? So, it's gonna occupy him because it hits a hinge, which is going to affect his balance, and it's affecting his breathing. Do you see that? And so just whatever, you're just here, and let's add in no expression, no nothing. Boom. You see how fast it comes because you detect it later, but I don't let the killing blow, the Kirieroshi, hype me up. Everything's very relaxed, boom, and then I turn it on the next shot, okay? Let's try this, go. Talk about what we just saw over there. This is how you guys were doing your shohato. On the minor strike, you're overcommitting, you see? You're off balance. You went ahead and threw it, and you're way off balance, okay? That strike didn't do any damage. Do you understand? So he's gonna defend the second one. So what makes it minor is that I'm not seeking spinal displacement. Again, I said preoccupation. That's what I'm trying to do. Or you can think of it, I have taken the initiative. He has to now respond to my initiative. Okay? That's what you're trying to do. So there's nothing, no intention. Boom. You can see I didn't overcommit. I didn't commit at all. I could go backwards now to another weapon. Do you see? Okay, cool. But now the hard part, because the rest of you were like, okay, I won't overcommit on the minor, but now you undercommit on the major. That's not correct either. Do you understand? So this is all nothing, but I can't go like that. So this one hits and boom. That's what you want. Your body is coming in and totally taking the space that you just generated, okay? That would be, I'm just showing you how much my body's in the technique. That would be your boom. That's what you hit with that tight right cross. You understand? So you have to change the cadence. No, the cadence changes, but it's not here same cadence. It changes. Minor, major, boom, boom. Whole body comes in. You can see how tight that is. I even felt his chest on my chest, okay? The killing knockout, I want him on the ground, okay? So let's try it again. If you paid attention, I tense, and he winced before I actually touched him. Do you get it? That means I telegraph, and he can tell that that's coming. But if I just hear, I do my energetic stuff, he can't. Do you feel that difference? Right? He looked as plain as me. Okay? But you're going to get something out of him. So you relax, but it's not, I'm relaxed, it's PJ. Okay? There is a power in it, right? Okay, but there's no tension in it. No tension. Forget that we're fighting. I just have a little physical puzzle. Okay? No tension, no intention, no desire, and I just move. You feel that difference? Okay, you got it? Alright, so let's try that, because that's the nukitsuke of Shohato. Okay? It has an effect. The effect is to set up the next strike, is to take his balance, right? To gain the initiative, but I can't telegraph it. And to not telegraph it, I have to meet the energetic values of the art. Okay? Let's try it again. Okay, so this is the equivalent of the drawing drill we do in law enforcement, okay? So I'm trying to hit her. She will block it if she can, or deviate, whatever she wants to do, okay? Now, biomechanically, it should not be possible for her to block it because I'm moving first, okay? And she has to be reactionary. But when you telegraph, she's not so much reactionary, she has plenty of time, okay? So this is the value you'll learn in the nukitsuke. Everything is very relaxed, and I move. And she's gonna try to defend herself. See, she got her hand up. Look, I flex. Relax. She'll never get it. Do you guys see that? Okay, so I know it looks like you're faster if you move your hand faster through space with tension, but not really, not martially speaking. Martially speaking, you're going to be subjectively faster, which is what counts, if she doesn't recognize the move till later. Okay, got it? All right, here we go.